or the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services at 989-758-1100 for emergency relief. A search continued Monday for a boater who disappeared in Saginaw Bay Sunday evening. The Coast Guard says a man was on the boat with another person when he was last seen. The search has reportedly covered 100 miles using boats and a helicopter. Senator Debbie Stabenow will be at Hemlock Semiconductor this afternoon to highlight progress made on her Make It in America agenda to advance manufacturing. She'll take a tour of the facility and then speak with local media. Hemlock Semiconductor is a leading provider of hyper-pure polycrystalline silicon and other silicon-based products used in the manufacturing devices, solar cells, and modules. Stabenow has authored legislation to address the semiconductor shortage and supply chain issues, help manufacturers transition to a clean energy economy, and incentivize the electrification of the auto industry. As part of new health orders taking effect today in Michigan, there will no longer be capacity limits outdoors or for residential gatherings, and venues holding things like weddings can set their own pandemic rules. It seems like a return almost to normal, but Congresswoman Debbie Dingell says that as things lighten up, it's important not to act like the pandemic is over.
We are not where we need to be. The community is safe. So I urge anybody listening to this morning, please go get vaccinated. It's what you do for your family, your friends, your colleagues, and your neighborhood.
Just under 59% of those 16 and over have so far received at least one COVID shot. Experts have said we need at least 70% to achieve herd immunity. WSGW News Time, 9:07.
Have you heard about all the benefits of joining DCECU? The great rates, the member give back. Membership sounds amazing. Too bad you're not eligible. It's easier than ever to join.
I thought only immediate family of DCECU members could get in, but I was wrong. My Uncle Earl is a member, so now I can be a member too.
I'm eligible through my support for community organizations. I didn't even know that was possible.
I didn't realize that employees of nearly 100 companies can join DCECU. I was able to become a member because I work for one of them.
If you're not a member, you can be. Find out how at dcecu.org/join. Membership eligibility required. While member give-back rebates and rewards occur with great regularity, this guaranteed. Not all loan and deposit products are eligible for member give-back consideration. Some limitations apply. Insured by NCUA.
WSGW News Time, 9:08. It's a story that's made national and international news. A pregnant Manistee woman rescued 3 girls who were struggling in Lake Michigan. 5 months pregnant, Alyssa DeWitt sat in her car for 5 minutes before heading to the beach with her 3 little kids last week. She saw 3 girls struggling in the water, so she ran and laid down on the pier, reaching for the girls ages 9 to 15.
I just started grabbing hands when I could and pulling them up the side of the pier wall, which was very difficult. Waves kept slamming into us, and it would pull them back down. Almost pulled me over a few times.
DeWitt doesn't think it was a coincidence that she was there, that she was meant to be there. A person was killed in a fiery crash on I-96 early this morning in West Michigan. The driver was reportedly headed west at the Nunnica Rest area when their vehicle left the road and hit several trees and caught on fire. Deputies believe speed was a factor in the crash. Of the more than 85,000 requests for money in the Flint water settlement, firms. In January, preliminary approval was given to a $641 million settlement between Flint's residents and the state of Michigan. The Detroit News reports 51% of the requests were made by individuals, while 49% were made by law firms. Part of the settlement, which still is under review, requires 80% of the money go to children who were minors when first exposed to Flint River water in 2014. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 9:10. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Plenty of sunshine for today. Highs will top out near 78 degrees. Winds west-southwesterly 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy skies and light winds. Lows drop to 56. Wednesday, partly sunny, chance for afternoon showers. Highs head back to 78. 5 to 10. Wednesday night, shower chances continue. Lows head back down to 56. And then Thursday, partial sunshine is possible at times. Another chance for showers and highs again get to around 78. I'm Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Right now, it's 58.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning and welcome to this Tuesday edition of the Art Lewis Show. Yes, I actually remembered it's Tuesday. I was off yesterday. Usually when I'm off on a Monday, my time lapse seems to get all screwed up and I never know what day it is. But I did this week. It is Tuesday, and good morning to you all. Hope you had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, and hope you took a little time to remember those who have given us all the freedoms that we enjoy in this country. We were expecting to hear from General A.J. Tata this morning, Tata, who has written a book called Chasing the Lions. We've not heard from him yet, so when we do, we will include him in the hour. So instead, we will start out with open phones, Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111. Toll free 866-790 WSGW. I want to start with a sports reality check, if you will. Talked a little bit about this on the morning team show. Naomi Osaka, highest paid female athlete in the world, a tennis player, a very, very good tennis player. She is of Haitian and Japanese background and proudly exhibits both and stands up for rights of everyone. Very much in the news the last few days. Even if you're not a tennis fan, you heard about it because it was on all the major newscasts. She had indicated to the tournament officials at the French Open that she preferred not to do media press conferences after each match, and she would not attend. Their reaction was swift and immediate. They fined her $15,000 for violating the rules, which require tennis professionals to meet the media after they play. After the fine, she came forward and explained that she has been suffering mental illness, fits of depression, and can't handle some of the things that come with these press conferences, win or lose. And then now she has withdrawn from the tournament. And I will tell you that does not help the tournament any, because in some ways, in the same way that the Williams sisters, particularly Serena, are television magnets, much like Tiger Woods is a television magnet for golf, Naomi Osaka has become a very, very popular tennis player internationally and is literally the highest paid female athlete in the world, and normally purports herself very, very well, even in these press conferences that she doesn't like to do. She handles them pretty well. But it points out, no matter who you are, no matter what you do, no matter your station in life, no matter your income, we all can find ourselves victims of mental health. Now, May was Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're into June now, but just because the month's over, the problem doesn't go away. So there's a real conflicted scenario here. On the one hand, as a professional, she is expected to act like a professional, follow the rules of her organization, in this case, the Grand Slam tournaments and the French Open tournament, and meet the press. On the other hand, she's a human being. And if she's having mental health issues, particularly depression, nothing to be played with, she deserves some consideration. We'll talk more about it. But as I mentioned to you early on, we're going to be chatting with a retired Brigadier General from the U.S. Army, not just any Brigadier General, but in the 2000s, he commanded some very well-known organizations, the 82nd and 101st Airborne and the 10th Mountain Division. He retired to become an author, quite an author to say the least, and his newest book is called Chasing the Lion, and we're going to talk this morning to General A.J. Tata, U.S. Army retired. General, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. How are you doing today?
We're doing well. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Thank you for your service, first and foremost.
It was my privilege, and thank you for having me on this morning.
Let me ask, before we get to the book, yesterday being Memorial Day, General, what are your thoughts on the men and women you served with, who served this country and gave that last full measure of devotion, as they say?
Thanks for asking that, Art. It's always a weekend of reflection for me. Lots of different combat zones, and unfortunately, as you mentioned, I had soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines that paid that last full measure, and I reflect on them, and I do a little bit of social media posts on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram to honor their service and make sure that we don't forget them, and that we honor their memory by being good people and living good lives that are consistent with the values that they fought for our nation.
Amen. General, let me ask, why writing? What got you into fiction writing? And is this fiction writing with a purpose other than just, obviously selling books and making money, but is there a purpose behind your writing?
Yeah, so Chasing the 14th novel, and so over the course of 14 books, ever since I was a kid, I can remember saying to my dad, I wanted to be a fiction writer and a novelist, and so it's been with me. It's been in my heart for a long time to be creative, just like an artist likes to create paintings. An actor loves to act. I love to write, and I've always written. And so the purpose is really to entertain and tell stories that people enjoy, and whatever compensation follows after that is fine. So, but my real purpose is to entertain, to be creative and be innovative, and tell unique stories that perhaps aren't otherwise being told. And and I parlay a lot of my business background, and I enjoy reading mysteries and thrillers. And so they say that old saying, write what you know, is not as true as write what you like to read. And so I enjoy writing what I like to read.
There's a touch of futuristic history in Chasing the Lion. I have to take a break. We'll continue the conversation with General A.J. Tata, retired U.S. Army, about Chasing the Lion, his latest book, which, by the way, hits the market today. We will be back with more on the Art Lewis Show, but let me remind you that our show is sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty in Saginaw. Sellers are getting top dollar for their homes with the average 1 day on the market. Linda Shepard sells faster. Buyers are cash or pre-approved. She doesn't waste time. She's easy to work with, no pressure tactics, several years of experience. Linda's a full-time agent. She lives here. She sells here. It's not a franchise, so the money stays right here in the community. And buyers, the interest rates are still low. Linda Shepard watches the market closely so clients get a showing fast and have a fighting chance. She'll fight for every offer, every time. Call Linda at 989-295-7713. 295-7713. We'll be back with General Tata after these notes.
Join the millions switching to Spectrum Mobile, and you could save up to 40%. Nationwide 5G is included. There are no added taxes or fees, plus no contracts. And for a limited time, get up to $300 off a new Samsung 5G phone with trade-in when you switch to Spectrum Mobile. Visit a Spectrum store near you or go to spectrummobile.com today. Savings based on comparison of single-line comparable unlimited plans amongst major national carriers as of 1/27/2021. Data usage limits vary by carrier. Spectrum internet required. Services not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
2020 was a challenging year, but things are looking up, including the stock market's performance. But will it last? Hi, I'm Ken Moraif, Senior Advisor at Retirement Planners of America. If you are 50 or older, call us today to schedule a free consultation to learn more about our Invest and Protect strategy that is designed to help mitigate the risk of the stock market. Call us today at 800-375-1159. That's 800-375-1159.
Sheila, we need to set up Johnson's quarterly review. Janowski Investments keeps portfolios profitable, but a double client base calls for double the advisors.
Hello. Hi, Janet. I'm so sorry. Pulling up your portfolio right now. Give me a sec.
Indeed can help them hire the people they need.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald. Business Report.
2 investment firms have increased their offer to buy Extended Stay America. Blackstone Group and Starwood Capital Group will pay $20.50 a share for the hotel company. Investment firms KKR and CD&R are buying software firm Cloudera in a deal valued at about $5 billion. Another restaurant chain is staffing up. Chuck E. Cheese says it will hire 5,000 team members this summer for its 460 locations. Amazon is changing strategy. It previously pushed customers with complaints to arbitration. Now it's making it possible for customers to file lawsuits. The Wall Street Journal faced more than 75,000 individual arbitration demands on behalf of Echo users. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosilva, invested in you.
Only T-Mobile for Business uses unconventional thinking to help businesses realize new possibilities, like our WFX solutions, enabled by our nationwide 5G network that help teams stay connected and productive where work happens. We also provide an award-winning customer experience and first-class benefits with every plan. Get unmatched network support and value without any trade-offs at T-Mobile.com/unconventional. Capable device required. Coverage not available in some areas. Some uses may require certain plan or feature. See T-Mobile.com.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. Don't look back and wish that you had taken action. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Allstate is known for quality insurance, but you might not know them for low rates.
That's about to change. With Allstate, you can save up to 25% when you bundle your home and auto. You know what else you might not know? The chicken came before the egg. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit Allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company, Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company, and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
High fly ball right field deep, way back in right and gone, a home run. Akil Badu with number 5.
The Tigers play 7:20 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we are back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. We're talking to General A.J. Tata, who has written a book called Chasing the Lion. General, I have to ask, your new leading character in this book, Army Lieutenant General Garrett Sinclair. When you write a book like this and you're talking about a general, any reflections in a mirror included in this general?
Any reflections of what?
Of yourself in a mirror? In other words, how much of the...
you know, of course, Art. You know, I don't. Every character is fictional. Every character is you know, born out of my imagination. Of course, it's you always some real life stuff filters in there. You know, Garrett Sinclair is a Joint Special Operations Commander, and his wife has just passed away recently. He was away on a mission when it happened, and he carries that guilt about not being there. So, of course, none of that has happened to me, but understanding being deployed and the loss of someone you love so dearly, the mother of your children and all of that, that's something that I think everybody can relate to. It's a touch point. And of course, he has to go toe-to-toe with his adversary, nemesis, who is Darius Perzad, the Iranian Quds Force commander. So his peer equivalent from Iran, you know, Quds Force is the special operations of Iran. And so understanding, having studied Quds Force for a long time, understanding Iran the way I do, you know, of course, I parlay all of that into trying to make robust characters. And yeah, it's getting great reviews from review houses and from readers and about the character development, which is a real what I look for when I put a book out there. So and when I read, I like reading good, rich characters that you care about.
Yeah.
Just like when you watch a movie or a TV show, you want to care about the characters. Otherwise, what's the point?
You also write, though, with an eye to the future, don't you? I mean, you know, when we look at this book and you're talking about the upcoming inauguration of the first female president, you're talking about biological weapons of mass destruction, you really do have an eye on the future, don't you?
Well, I try. You know, it takes about 8 months to write a book, and then once you turn it in, it's another 8 months before it gets published, typically. So it's about a 16, 18 month cycle, and so I try to like Wayne Gretzky said, skate to where the puck's going to be, and I try to have innovative plots and creative things happen to my characters. So that's I'm always reading nonfiction so that I can build a realistic world stage or location for my story to take place. So and it requires a lot of research. There's a lot of nonfiction research to make a good fiction novel.
An interesting twist on the character too, because General Sinclair in your book actually has two mysteries to solve, not one. He's fighting, as you mentioned, the Iranians on the one hand, but he also suspects his wife murder. His wife was murdered, not natural causes.
Yeah, right. So part of the mystery throughout the book is, did his wife die of cancer, or was there something else? Because as they are chasing Darius Perzad, who is nicknamed the Lion of Tabas by the Ayatollah, back after the failed American raid in Iran in 1980. He's chasing the lion, and he uncovers a clue that perhaps his wife may be and have been not died from cancer, but has been something else has happened to her. I don't want to give away. I don't want to
Yeah. It is interesting, though. I thought it was particularly interesting that you had chosen a possible bioterrorism as the weapon of choice for the Iranians after we just came through the pandemic, which some are questioning how that virus got out. Timing is impeccable.
Well, Art, I turned in this book in January of last year.
Yeah.
So this gets to that time. And then I got asked to work for the Trump administration. So the publisher put the book on hold while I was serving the country and the Pentagon and the number 3 job there. And then, then when I got out, they said, okay, time to get ready. We got a June 1 launch date, and they're going to, get this awesome book out there. And so that thinking about threats to the country before COVID, when I wrote the book, I thought was, there are a couple of things. One is, biological chemical warfare is always something that, I have this fascination with drones and frankly, I read a book called Poisoner in Chief, CIA mind control experiments, and it was very compelling how close we were to mind control and where LSD came from and all of that, and the rotten experimentation with LSD by the CIA and how loose the rules were and how little control there was over really rogue operatives experimenting. And so I put those two notions together, biochem warfare and the mind control aspect, and create this techno drug that works through the phone, iPhone or a Droid. You looked at your iPhone and thought, man, it already knows what I'm thinking, right? And it's because they're listening, they're watching us through the camera, and when you sign that, when you say I agree with terms and conditions, you really don't know what you're agreeing to, because I don't think many people read those. So so I wrap all that together to create good characters in chasing the lion and a compelling plot.
And today is the release date. The book available everywhere good books are sold, I assume?
Yes, everywhere. Barnes & Noble, indie bookstores, online at Amazon and elsewhere. And it's a hardcover, it's an ebook, and it's an audiobook. So
let me ask, take you out of the author role just for a minute, put you back in your uniform. How well is this country protected against not just the fiction you write about, but the reality of the world today?
We have great men and women in uniform that have raised their right hand to defend our country. I'm concerned about the politicization of the intelligence community that's gone on, since really the last 15 years or so. And it's very harmful to the country. And then extend to that we don't have journalists anymore. We have operatives that support one side or the other. And we're a very divided country right now, and that bothers me as someone who has served in uniform and fought in our nation's wars. And so, with this past weekend being Memorial Day, I reflect on that kind of thing a lot, where the soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, of our liberties and defense of our Constitution, and that's why we raise our right hand and swear to defend those. And what we see right now is a real assault on our liberties from the media in particular, that are advocating for one side, right? And because they believe that their side is right, and about a 95% liberal media that destroys any. Ultimately, it's all about power, and our Constitution was designed to diffuse that power so that no one entity could completely govern the country like it can.
General, can you hang on? Can you hang on for one more segment? Let me take.
I've got another segment right after this somewhere else. So I really appreciate the time, Art, but I've really got to run.
All right. Well, in that case, we will let you do that. General Tata, thank you much. The book Chasing the Lion at all good booksellers everywhere. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Art.
You bet. Bye-bye now. General A.J. Tata, we thank him for joining us here on the Art Lewis Show. We will be back with open phones after these notes.
Oh, wow. I love what you've done to your kitchen. Thanks. We did new countertops and a new sink and faucet. Oh, it looks great. Did you do all the work yourself? Oh, no. We worked with the remodeling department at Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. They helped us select the right choice for us from their wide selection of countertop material, and we love it. We shopped around, too. Reamer had the best selection and the best pricing. So, what's your next project? Well, since we love our new kitchen, we plan to do the bathroom next. Oh, wow. Straight to Reamer. You should see all the new things they have for the bathroom.
Visit the showroom at Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning to see countertop displays of Cambria quartz and Corian, kitchen sinks made of Corian, stainless steel, quartz, swanstone, and cast iron, plus a large display of kitchen faucets from several manufacturers. One is perfect for your lifestyle and budget. Shop local. Shop Reamer. Go to reamerplumbing.com.
Any way you spell it, Reamer means quality.
Start your summer off right at United Financial Credit Union. From summer fun to summer savings, United Financial has everything you need to play big and save big all summer long. Looking for a new financial? It's easy to make the switch. Need money for a vacation? We can help. With personal loans as low as 4.99% APR and auto loans as low as 1.99% APR. Let United Financial help you with all of your financial needs so you can enjoy your summer. Not a member? Why not? It's never been easier to switch your accounts and become a member at United Financial, where we put you first. Stop in or visit our website for details.
Rate subject to change. APR equals annual percentage rate. Some restrictions apply. See credit union for details. Federally insured by NCUA.
We're where you work, where you live. United Financial Credit Union. Serving the Valley community.
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating more frequently? Are you waking up at night to urinate? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prostagenics is the all-natural product that beat over 100 prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 supplement in the world. #1, because it works. So why not try some Prostagenics, and your prostate troubles will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prostagenics, call now, 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-600-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
Direct from the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. We thank General Tata for being with us this morning. Again, the book Chasing the Lion, available at all good booksellers. Let's move on to our phones now. Jean is in Bay City. Jean, good morning to you.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I wanted to talk about the tennis star.
Yes, Naomi Osaka.
Yes. 3/4 of people are extroverts. There's only like 1/4 of people are introverts. And actually, structured a little differently, and their brain has longer pathways to different areas. I mean, they're both equally intelligent. It has nothing to do with intelligence. It's just a different way that their brain is made. Well, the thing, for example, this first book that I read about it, man and woman, married, the guy's an extrovert, the wife's an introvert. They go into like casino, something, a lot of noise, flashing lights and crowds and everything. Well, what happens to somebody when they're in a situation similar, some type of situation like that? What happens is your body releases extra dopamine. And an extrovert, when they get that extra dopamine, it's great because it makes them more outgoing and more energetic and more enthusiastic and everything. But the problem, when an introvert gets all that extra dopamine into their brain, because their brain has longer pathways, it can't handle it right away. And it's a problem because they can't use it the way an extrovert does.
Yeah.
And so what happens, it makes them very anxious and very stressed out and nervous until they can finally get it under control. Now, in this book, the lady introvert, when they would go like to a big party or casino, she would go to the ladies' room, after a little while because she had so much wasn't using in her brain. She'd be so nervous. She'd go in the ladies' room for a while and just sit on a chair or couch or something. And then when it would equalize out, then she'd go back out and join her husband.
Well, I know exactly. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because you've defined myself and my wife.
Really? You're an introvert?
No, I'm the opposite.
Oh, you're exactly like that couple. Your wife is an introvert and you're an extrovert. That's supposed to
Pretty
be a great
much
match.
doesn't like large crowds and noises and things of that nature.
And that's where it's sad for this lady, because when you're very famous like that, she's constantly being confronted by people, because she's so famous and reporters, and then she has to go to these meetings with the press and all this, and she's constantly having all this extra dopamine.
All right, let me ask you a question, Gene. What's the compromise? I asked that on purpose because part of being a professional athlete is having to deal with the media. That is part of it. And the federation, the tournament federation, has rules, and professional athletes have to follow those rules. So where do we make the compromises? How do we adjust for the fact that there are Naomi Osakas in the world who, indeed, we have to respect the fact that she's suffering depression and mental illness is a serious problem today.
And it isn't that she's abnormal.
No.
She's completely normal for an introvert. People would understand that. The people controlling things, if they would understand that, then they wouldn't put quite so much pressure on her and penalize her so much. They'd have a little more empathy and compassion and understanding.
Yep.
And because it's not her fault.
I agree with that. However, then you have to determine how do you compromise the rules for an individual, and what does that open up down the road for the rest of the professionals? So that's why I asked. This is a serious question. I think we have to respect the fact that she has mental illness and went into depression, and that needs to be not only treated. Needs to be treated, but needs to be respected by the association. At the same
don't
time,
actually believe that she has mental illness. I think she's a normal introvert that can't handle all the dopamine that's getting dumped on her brain.
But she's admitted depression, and depression is a mental illness.
Well, I know, but how do you get depressed?
I understand that. But
too much anxiety and stress makes you
But that leads to, it is a form of mental illness, is it not?
Well, yeah.
That's it. I mean, the question is, how do we allow for that individual without compromising the entire basis of the profession? There's got to be a way. I'm not smart enough to tell you what it is right now, but it's a valid question. It's a valid question. And I don't think slapping someone with a $15,000 fine before you even talk about it to them was a smart thing to do. I don't think it was handled well. Let's put it that way.
No, I just.
All right.
More people need to get more educated and more understanding.
Gene, I got to take a break, dear, but always a good conversation. I appreciate your calling. Thanks a lot. We will be back with more. Lines are open for you here on the Art Lewis Show.
I am so ready to go back to work.
I just need a chance.
So where do I start?
MidMichiganWork.com. Houseback Pickles and Peppers has been in business since 1923 and would like to invite you to join their team. Stop by their on-site job fair Tuesday, June 22nd, 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. No appointment needed. Hiring managers will be on-site to discuss positions, conduct interviews, and hire on the spot. Seasonal help is needed for sorters, forklift, grading crews, and more. Bring a valid ID Tuesday, June 22nd to 634 Kendrick Street in Saginaw for the Houseback Pickles and Peppers Job Fair, 10 a.m. till 3 p.m.
I'm Dr. Andrea Russo, a cardiologist. Maybe you're waiting to talk to your doctor right now. But if you're having an irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, don't wait. This could be a serious condition like atrial fibrillation, which can make you about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you're having these symptoms, don't wait. Talk to a doctor by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol. Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. Don't look back and wish that you had taken action. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Is your credit card debt piling up? Pacific Debt can help. Pacific Debt is the nation's friendliest debt settlement company with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and thousands of 5-star reviews on sites like they can settle your debt for a fraction of what you owe. In fact, they've settled over $300 million, helping people just like you. Get a monthly program payment you can afford and 0 upfront fees. Get free information now. 800-281-9981. 800-281-9981.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for a grillin' and chillin' package from Fat Matt's Barbecue. This deal gets you a half rack of ribs combo dinner plus 2 of his famous dry rubs and 2 bottles of his homemade barbecue sauce. You can find a list of locations on where Fat Matt's Barbecue will be this summer on his. Book him for your own private party or event. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
WSGW is your station for the Tigers.
Swinging a soft line drive to Goodrum. Catches it, throws to first. Tigers win. Soto closes it out. Great defense all day long, and it ends on a double play ball hit to Nico Goodrum.
Tigers Baseball, brought to you in part by Woolfiles Ace Hardware in Saginaw. Your local auto owners agents including Rummel Agency, Mayan Agency,
and Buck Insurance Agency.
On WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. Let us go back to our phones. Mary is in Saginaw. Mary, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Art.
Morning.
I'm calling about the tennis star.
Yes.
The way I look at it is if the press had a little more integrity and would not want to travel back about every little problem that you had in your past life, and just stick to the topic of you trying to celebrate. But more than likely, they go back and they bring up the death of some relative, some illness you had 8 or 9 years back. They will not stick to the topic.
Well, let me
So
let me
I
let me
would
stop you for a second here, because there's a difference in media reporting on general topics and sports reporting. Sports reporters pretty much tend to stick on the topic at hand. They're interested in the event that's taking place, the match that took place, win or lose. They may bring up, did you have a past injury that affected your performance and things like that, but they're not generally inclined to bring up stuff that's not related to sports.
Okay, well, forgive me for saying that, because that's what I had seemed to think would happen with a lot of those athletes. Something that happened doomy and gloomy in the past would somehow be put into that conversation. So forgive me. And
no, that's all right. That's all right.
My apologies.
It's not. You don't need to apologize for it, because there is a little bit of truth in what you're saying. Because, for example, if an athlete loses a match, and it's a prominent athlete, the media, sports reporters are liable to delve a little deeper. Let's put it that way. But winning a match, I think in her case, this wasn't so much the media as it was the fans in attendance at the 2018 Open. When she beat Serena Williams, she was the winner, and she was booed by the fans because they wanted to see Serena win. And I think that triggered it. I think that started a lot of this for her. Naturally introverted, or a very, shy person, not comfortable in doing the media. But when she's done the media, she's done it very well, which is the real, conflict here. But I just think that point, when you are celebrating what is probably your greatest victory by defeating probably the greatest player of the day, and then to be booed off the court when you're accepting your award, that's unconscionable to me. I think tennis fans ought to be ashamed at their fellow fans in the stands that day.
I did watch that. I watch as much tennis as I can, because I really do enjoy that sport. And I did watch how they reacted toward her. And I was so proud that Serena Williams did step up and ask them to calm down and not to stop throwing stones, and to celebrate the young lady's victory.
Absolutely.
I thought that was very admirable of her to do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was a quality move on her part. But still, the damage was done. And that unfortunately, to me, seems to be the trigger that started a lot of this. The bigger question is, how does tennis react to it now? What do they do moving forward? How do they allow for this type of reaction because of what might be described as mental illness, depression? Somewhere along the line in this modern world we live in, they're going to have to make some exceptions. And they're going to have to figure a better way to do it than what they did.
Well, they probably will come up with something. I hope they will come up with something where society is an individual, and because maybe something doesn't affect me, it might affect someone else in the same area. But thank you very much for your educating me on something that I was not completely aware of.
It's just a little different in sports, because they're there for the sport for the most part. Now, and I will tell you this, if some athlete, runs afoul of the law, or in the case of a popular athlete like Tiger Woods, who had the car accident, the media is going to react a little differently, because not only is the sports media going to be involved, but the regular everyday media is going to be involved. But when it comes to athletic events, pretty much it's the sports media that's there. So, all right, Mary.
Thank you so much. You have a wonderful, safe day.
You too, dear.
Thank you again.
Thanks for calling.
Okay,
Bye-bye. Just one other note, on a very positive basis. He is and has been for many, many years my favorite Indy driver. Elio Castroneves wins his fourth Indianapolis 500. After being fired from the Penske team 2 years ago, he gets a new ride and wins the race. He's 46 years old. And great comments after. The year of Tom Brady, the year of Phil Mickelson, the year of Elio Castroneves. It was just fun to watch. Take our last break. Be back to close out this hour. More ahead on the Art Lewis Show.
I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger with a quick tip from H2O Wireless on stretching your budget and month. Start with your recurring monthly bills, and here's the easiest one, your cell phone bill. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile charge premium rates for unlimited data, when in all actuality, you have no need for that much data. H2O Wireless, on the other hand, is on the exact same network as one of those carriers, but charges you half. The average family of four is saving over $70 a month without having to sacrifice coverage. And listen to this, unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 per month. Switching is as easy as swapping out your SIM card. You can keep your phone and your phone number. Here's how to get the best deal. This month, dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Dial pound 250 and say get H2O for this exclusive offer and start saving today.
Hey everybody, Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage. In fact, over 1 million homeowners took advantage of refinancing or buying a new home with Rocket Mortgage. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase again, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. With an official mortgage review from Rocket Mortgage, you'll see just how much money you could save by making a move right now. Don't look back over these next few weeks and wish that you had taken action. You could save hundreds on your mortgage payments or pay off your home loan earlier than planned. You could even take cash out of your home to pay off high-interest debt, complete home repairs, or bulk up on an emergency fund. When you want to secure a low rate, Rocket can. Call 833-8-ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
WSGW is proud to announce we are again a finalist for the National Association of Broadcasters Service. We won that award last year for our Sharing Hope Radiothon. This year, our 500-year flood entry is among 3 finalists vying for the Media Market Award for Community Service. Our entry showed the devastation and the resolve to recover by local residents in the Great Lakes Bay region. Together with you, your service to America station is WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for this hour of the Art Lewis Show. Coming up, we're going to talk to Ryan Tarrant next hour, president of the Bay Area Chamber of Commerce, about the American Rescue Plan and their proposal to spend money awarded to Bay City. All of that is ahead. But before we do that, we'll get to the news. CBS News at the top of the hour, bringing you up to date on the world, the international and national report. And Williams in the WSGW newsroom, Great Lakes region and state of Michigan, subject of her reports. And then we'll be back with our next hour. Talk to you after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. President Biden will travel to Tulsa today to meet with survivors of the 1921 race massacre that killed hundreds of Black residents and destroyed their homes and businesses. Leslie Bedingfield Randall is one of 3 left to tell the story.
I still smell smoke and see fire. I hear the screams. I have lived through the massacre every day.
The president will announce new steps to fight racism and narrow the wealth gap. Republican Senator Shelley Moore Capito tomorrow to try to narrow differences on an infrastructure spending package. White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
The afternoon meeting will be the third time the president will have met with the West Virginia Republican to talk about infrastructure. The latest $928 billion offer from Shelley Moore Capito and her colleagues was still about $800 billion less than what Mr. Biden has proposed to spend. Administration officials have cast this as a critical week for the crafting of a bipartisan deal. The president himself has said he aims to bring the talks to a conclusion soon.
The TSA says it screened more than 7 million travelers over the holiday weekend. That's year, but still 24% less than in 2019. Brown University's Dr. Ashish Jha tells CBS this morning, we're not out of the COVID-free and clear yet.
Starting to get hot. People are spending more time indoors. There's still a lot of people unvaccinated in many of the southern states. So that's what we got to work on. If we can improve those vaccination numbers, I think things will be fine. But I am worried about an uptick in cases in many of those states.
More children will head back to school with glasses. Correspondent Vicki Barker explains.
Chinese researchers found cases of nearsightedness in young kids nearly tripled during the pandemic, and now American eye doctors are reporting similar increases. Focusing on close-up computer screens, not enough time outdoors focusing on distant objects.
Johnson & Johnson struck out in the Supreme Court in a bid to overturn a ruling ordering the company to pay more than $2 billion to women who blamed their ovarian cancer on asbestos from baby powder. 22 of them brought their claims to court in Missouri, where they were heard together in one trial. The state appeals court reduced damages by more than half. MLB's been hit with legal action over a change of venue this July. CBS's Jim Krasula has the details.
A conservative group representing small businesses has sued Major League Baseball over its decision to move to Atlanta. The move was in response to Georgia's controversial new election law, which MLB said was too restrictive and disenfranchised minority voters.
Dow up 136 points. This is CBS News.
Looking to hire? Indeed will help you speed up the process. They have 135 skills tests to help you find the right candidates faster. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider and are only available if the provider determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
My husband's ED was affecting our marriage. When he first started experiencing ED, it was difficult for both of us. We didn't know who or where to get help. HIMSS was our answer. HIMSS connected my husband with a licensed provider online. He was able to get medication to treat his ED at a fraction of the price people pay for the name brand. It was delivered to our door, and guess what? Our sex life is back. It works.
Right now, get your first online provider's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/love. Yep, free. No copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Just the care you need.
Thanks to HIMSS, we got our sex life and our marriage back.
To start your free online visit, go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/love. That's forhims.com/love. Visit forhims.com/love.
Hey everybody, Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. In fact, over 1 million homeowners took advantage of refinancing or buying a new home with Rocket Mortgage. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase again, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. With an official mortgage review from Rocket Mortgage, you'll see just how much money you could save by making a move right now. Don't look back over these next that you would take an action. You could save hundreds on your mortgage payments or pay off your home loan earlier than planned. You could even take cash out of your home to pay off high interest debt, complete home repairs, or bulk up on an emergency fund. When you want to secure a low rate, Rocket can. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
65 degrees at Onion Williams. Consumers Energy is asking customers to be aware of their energy use this summer. Starting today, the summer peak rate goes into effect from 2 to 7 p.m. Every weekday, Consumers Energy officials are encouraging people to limit energy use during those times. They say even simply adjusting the air conditioner by 1 degree can lower electric bills by up to 3%. Customers that reduce electricity use could see savings, but those who are not able to adjust can expect up to a $2 increase on their monthly bill. This morning, the loss of a 17-year-old cheerleader, band member, and recent high school graduate who died Sunday night in a traffic crash in Bridgeport Township. A candlelight vigil in memory of Kirsten Franzel will be held at 10 p.m. Thursday at the St. Charles High School football field. Kirsten recently graduated from St. Charles High School with dreams of going into the U.S. Air Force. A funeral service will be held Saturday at Emmanuel Lutheran Church in Wheeler. The family will receive friends Friday 10 to 8 at McGeehan Funeral Home, St. Charles Chapel. Kirsten was born on October 11, 2003, to Ricky Jr. and Valerie Franzel in Saginaw. She graduated from St. Charles High School with high honors, class of 2021. Congressman Dan Kildee will take part in the Habitat for Humanity build this afternoon at 602 Litchfield in Bay City. Michael Percha reports.
The build is a part of the Operation We Care Veterans Repair Program. Kildee will be assisting in the construction of a U.S. Air Force veteran. Volunteers from Michigan's Laborers Union and staff from Kildee's office will also assist in the construction. Kildee will also discuss his community project funding request for the Bay County and Saginaw-Shiawassee Habitat for Humanities. This year, the Appropriations Committee created a new opportunity called Community Project Funding for members of Congress to direct federal resources to local projects with demonstrated community support. Kildee was able to submit 10 projects for consideration, including an initiative submitted by Bay County Habitat for Humanity to undertake critical home repairs. These include energy systems and roofs for veterans and low-income households. Final determinations of community project be announced in the coming months. Michael Percha, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSTW News Time is 10:07.
Start your summer off right at United Financial Credit Union. From summer fun to summer savings, United Financial has everything you need to play big and save big all summer long. Looking for a new financial institution? We can help. It's easy to make the switch. Need money for a vacation? We can help. With personal loans as low as APR and auto loans as low as 1.99% APR. Let United Financial help you with all of your financial needs so you can enjoy your summer. Not a member? Why not? It's never been easier to switch your accounts and become a member at United Financial, where we put you first. Stop in or visit our website for details.
Rate subject to change. APR equals annual percentage rate. Some restrictions apply. See credit union for details. Federally insured by NCUA.
We're where you work, where you live. United Credit Union. Serving the Valley community.
WSTW News Time is 10:08. You may see some bare spots along trails around the state this summer. They're called clear cuts, and the Michigan Department of Natural Resources uses the process to manage 3.9 million acres of state forest. Tom Barnes with the Grayling Forest Management Division says cutting may remove trees more susceptible to disease and open views along trails.
You know, if your trail was meandering through an aspen clear cut or a red pine stand, and it'll be a vast open area with potential regrowth coming back, depending on what stage it is after the cut.
Clear cuts also take place for other purposes. For example, jack pines in the area are strategically cut to maintain nesting sites for the Kirtland's warbler, a once endangered songbird. Michigan Supreme Court, 14 years later, the Michigan Supreme Court is taking a look at the fatal shooting of a Flint teenager who was accused of being a snitch. 4 men are serving life sentences for the death of Robert Person, who was 14 in 2007. The Supreme Court says it will hear arguments over whether 3 of them had their rights violated when a transcript of a witness interview was not produced before trial. Investigators must share all evidence that could have value to the defense. A transcript turned up in 2014. It showed differences.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Trial testimony.
I was muted. I wasn't sure if I was live or anything, so I figured mute.
When you see news happening, call the WSTW Newsroom,
light.
752-0790. It's 10:10. I'm Ian Williams.
Let's wander around here.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see mostly today with a high into the upper 70s. Winds out of the southwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy sky conditions. We'll see a low near 56. Wednesday, a chance for rain showers here late. Partial sunshine develops, a high around 78. Then by Thursday, a chance for rain showers here, cloudy skies, and a high around 78. Friday, mostly sunny, high of 85 degrees. And Saturday, plenty of blue skies and sunshine, a high around 88 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Vujicic with the WSGW weatherology forecast.
Currently, it's 67.
Now, the talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you and welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show, hour number 2. And we're going to begin this hour by talking to the president of the Bay Area Chamber of Commerce. And you can watch us both on video on twitch.tv, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And before I introduce you to him, let me tell you that our show is sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your real estate needs, commercial or residential, give Linda a call at 989-7713. And we say good morning to Ryan Tarrant. Ryan, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you, literally. But
Yeah.
I love it when we can do this now. You know, it's the one people ask, what do I miss by working from home? And that's the one thing I miss is that interaction. And at least now with the video technology we have, we can sit here and look at each other and talk to each other. I kind of love it. Let's talk about, I know something that the Chamber's involved in, the American Rescue Plan coming out of Washington. First, give us an overview of this plan and what it means to Bay County.
So the plan, the American Rescue Plan, called ARPA, was the most recent COVID-19 resource that was passed by Congress and signed into law. Provides $1.9 trillion in COVID relief for a variety of areas. The most important thing, I think, for our community is the city of Bay City, as a part of that, is receiving $31 million, and Bay County is receiving about $20 million. So they've been given sort of a wide berth on how they can use that funding for, businesses, nonprofit, for infrastructure that is not roads. It's very specifically not roads, but broadband. Some of these things that we've seen have been an issue over the last year plus, with students and workers all being remote. And so there's a lot of opportunity there for them to do some really transformational things for the community. And it's not just Bay City, Bay County. It's all across the state, across the country. Everybody's receiving some of these dollars.
Who decides how the money is spent?
That's the Treasury just put out a interim guidance. So there's a guidance on how they can spend it, which kind of sets the guardrails for them. But each governing body will decide on their own how that money gets spent and what money gets allocated where.
Part of it covers small business, though, doesn't it?
It does. They're allowed to use that funding for small business. We've seen a number of grants over the last year from a variety of sources, public, private. And so this is allowed to be used for some of those things as well. Can be used for workforce. I mean, I think there's a lot of areas that, we can really see some positive change going forward.
How long before the money is actually spent?
So the first half came, I believe, last month. It's not like my personal checking account. I can't log in and see if the city's gotten their money, but the first half was supposed to arrive in May of this year, and the second half in May of next year. And then they have to actually spend all of that money by the end of 2024. So they've got, roughly 3 years to spend that allocation of money. And so I imagine there's going to be a series of hearings. They're going to listen to a lot of input from the community, to determine how to spend that and what's the best path going forward. And as a Chamber of Commerce, we've sort of joined with a number of other kind of leading nonprofit organizations to put forward some ideas and thoughts on some areas where we think that they can spend that money most effectively and really transform the community for the next decade or more.
Who makes the final decision? Is it the city commission and the
City
county
commission?
board?
Yep, city commission and county board will each make their own decisions on where that funding is going to be spent.
So the chamber's role in all of this, what have you proposed?
So we've proposed a number of different areas. I mean, for business and nonprofit support, workforce support, we think we've put forward some thoughts and ideas that really amount to about 12% or so of the funding, and then kind of another big portion of it, separate from that, is actually taking a look at the broadband or Wi-Fi infrastructure in the community. Because we think that there's some significant resources there that we can use to attract people, attract business to our community if we were to start down the path of enhancing our broadband infrastructure, providing whether it's by broadband, fiber, or free Wi-Fi or citywide Wi-Fi. And this is one of those things that communities haven't been able to do in the past because budgets are always tight. But this is a once in a generation opportunity to do something kind of a big ticket item.
I know Bay Future put forth a proposal too on small business. What would you like to see happen for small business? How would you structure a small business grant?
So, the proposal we put forward was really to start the conversation. We'd like to see some grants for small business. Obviously, there are a number of those that are, still hurting, still trying to dig themselves out of the hole that COVID dug them, through no fault of their own. But we think there's also some opportunities there for, for those businesses. We know you go out to eat. You and I have had lunch together. Everybody is looking for help.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for a cook with some experience but can't find one, there's no reason we can't use a portion of this money for a business grant to help train that person. It provides some extra incentive for maybe someone to get some certifications, that sort of thing. You can braid some of those grants for trainings with some other programs that are out there through Michigan Works and others. To really scale those people up. We could do sign-on bonuses for people that work, 90 or 120 days or 6 months, whatever that looks like. I think there's a combination of things we can do that help both the employer and the potential employees.
Ryan, let me ask, because I know early on back in last year's grants, some of the PPP money, there were complaints about the size of businesses that were taking advantage of them.
Mm-hmm.
What constitutes a small business?
So generally the definition is about 50 employees, but when you look at a community and a city commission or a county commission that's able to sort of make these decisions, that's an opportunity for them to work hand in hand and determine what's a small business. And people think 50 employees is a lot, but you look at a family-owned restaurant, and a lot of times they've got 60, 75 employees, but they're sort of all part-time. You have a combination of high school students and people who have been there for a number of years. So,
yeah, I was amazed at talking to even owner of some franchise restaurants, big name franchise restaurants, how many people they would normally have on their payroll just for one restaurant. And it was staggering. It was more than 60. I mean, in one case, it was over 100. Yeah. And I was really quite surprised, because you look at that as a small business, even though it's a major national franchise, they're all individually owned.
Mm-hmm.
And I was pretty surprised as to how many people it took to run them and how short they are of finding those people right now.
Oh, it's terrible. You have restaurants that are closed 1 or 2 days a week. You have, you look at Michigan Adventure, Cedar Point. Historically, summer's their boom time, right? And they're going to be closed 2 days a week.
Yeah. Ryan, hang on. I got to take a break. We'll come back with talking to Ryan Tarrant from the Bay Area Chamber of Commerce. More ahead here on the Art Lewis Show, sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty in Saginaw. Sellers are getting top dollar for their homes with the average of 1 day on the market. Linda Shepard sells faster. Buyers are cash or pre-approved. She doesn't waste any time. She's easy to work with, no pressure tactics, with several years of experience. Linda's a full-time agent. that lives here and sells here. Pinnacle is not a franchise, so the money stays right here in your community. And buyers, the interest rates are still low. Linda Shepherd watches the market closely, so clients get a showing fast and have a fighting chance. She'll fight for every offer, every time. Call Linda today at 989-295-7713, 295-7713. And we'll be back with Ryan Tarrant after these notes.
This is Rachel from the SVRC Marketplace, located at 203 South Washington, right on Riverfront Saginaw. Spring has sprung, bringing our downtown Saginaw Farmers Market and farmers back underneath our pavilion. Have you tried the offering delicious seasonal eats, wine and Michigan beers, and the only outdoor patio right on Riverfront Saginaw. We have over 35 small businesses ready to serve you. Global flavors like Falafel Hut and Saigon Sandwich, or American favorites like Macon Bacon and Honey's Tasty Potatoes. Dress to impress with True Millennium gear and Asia's wigs and apparel. Spring has sprung inside the SVRC Marketplace. Open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Need a rental space? Check out the Marketplace. We thank you for the continued support of our resilient small businesses. Remember to shop local, eat local, support you at the market.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
The days of paying full price are over. And at RocketGrabPlus.com, we are always here to give you the killer deals you need. You can get tons of half-off deals going on right now from Cafe 13, JB's Market, Woody's Hot Dogs, King's Fish and more, Beer Garden, and High Country Jumpers. Half off? You bet. It's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business.
Stocks opened higher. Oil prices are higher. There's optimism that demand for driving and travel is picking up. Private equity firms KKR and CD&R are buying software company Cloudera. It's a deal worth approximately $5 billion. Old National Bancorp and First Midwest Bancorp are merging. The two companies say they'll create a premier Midwestern bank with $45 billion in combined assets. Meat company JBS shares are losing ground after the company was hit by a cyber attack over the weekend. Movie theater chain AMC says it sold 8.5 million new shares to Mudrick Capital and will use the money pandemic, possibly picking up other theater networks at a bargain. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Designer face masks, DIY haircuts. In a world full of things you never thought possible, here's one more. Now you can get the same high-quality insurance from Allstate, but at a new low rate. Drivers who switched and saved averaged $718. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit Allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Reported average annual savings from switching auto by new customers surveyed who saved with Allstate in 2009. So now you buy. Not available in every state. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey everybody, Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. In fact, over 1 million homeowners took advantage of refinancing or buying a new home with Rocket Mortgage. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase again, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. With an official mortgage review from Rocket Mortgage, you'll see just how much money you could save by making a move back over these next few weeks and wish that you had taken action. You could save hundreds on your mortgage payments or pay off your home loan earlier than planned. You could even take cash out of your home to pay off high interest debt, complete home repairs, or bulk up on an emergency fund. When you want to secure a low rate, Rocket can. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com. Rocket.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
High fly ball right field deep. Way back in right and gone, a home run. Akil Badu with number 5.
The Tigers play 7:20 tonight on 790 USGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, talking to Ryan Tarrant, president of the Bay Area Chamber of Commerce. I want to talk for a minute about public Wi-Fi and this notion of putting broadband out there for everyone. Well, I think it's a good idea. There are those critics who say, wait a minute, government, you're competing with private industry that already provides that service. What do you say to them?
So to that, I would say, the interim guidance that Treasury put out, encourages them to use nonprofit or municipal owned, but from a chamber perspective, I think that there's a pretty heavy case to be made that they should really be contracting out with the private businesses that are already doing this and doing it well. You can pay them to come in and install it. You can pay them upfront for a period of time to run that free Wi-Fi or that broadband. But it's one of those services that the community hasn't run in the past, and I don't think it's a time to roll the dice on trying to do it yourselves. You want the best technology you can get. You want the company that can continue to upgrade that infrastructure as needed. And it hasn't been in a municipal wheelhouse necessarily in the past. So,
how long before you think these funds will be allocated and actually spent?
So I think for some of them, knowing that it has to be spent out, by 2024, I think, we'll start to see some of this, over the course, probably by the end of the summer. I would hope that some of this money is starting to be spent. On some of the bigger ticket things, if you're looking at workforce, talent attraction, retention, or the public Wi-Fi broadband pieces, I think those are going to be bigger conversations that need to be had at the community level. Not just in Bay County but everywhere, and figure out what those needs are and what best suits each community. So
let's talk about a what if. That is the infrastructure package that's being talked about in Washington. This current rescue plan prohibits use on roads and bridges and things of that nature, something that we desperately need.
Mm-hmm.
What's your feeling about the infrastructure plan? Are they going to be able to come to some kind of compromise?
It feels like they're always working on an infrastructure plan, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, but yet we don't get it.
We do. We absolutely do need it. And I think that was sort of, in my mind, the impetus for Congress excluding that from the ARPA funds was, always looking ahead to doing an infrastructure package. I know they're working on ramping up the speed in which that's happening. So I think at the end of the day, that's one of those areas where both sides can come to and find some common ground. Is on infrastructure, because it is a need across the country.
Yeah, and the shame of it in the state of Michigan, I mean, the governor ran on Fix the Roads, and they have the proposal for $3.5 billion or whatever it is that MDOT is going to bond out. You can't use a nickel of that on local roads. And it seems to me that the local communities, counties, and cities have the worst roads in the state. They do.
And unfortunately, that $3.5 billion, when I saw the initial map, just after the announcement came out, there wasn't any money being spent in that 3.5 in the Great Lakes Bay region. I think the furthest north they went, as far as our region was concerned, was down in Genesee County. So, we really need it, on both sides, the state roads and the local municipal roads.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's look at post-pandemic. We are at a point where rules are beginning to loosen up a little bit. Today being one of those days. What do you look as the future? What do you see as, quote, a return to normal?
Well, I think the first return to normal for Bay City, Bay County happened over the weekend with the announcement that the fireworks were coming back for 4th of July. So, that was one we were really thrilled to hear that they're going to move forward on it. I know a lot of places had canceled early and said we're not going to do them again this year. And they continued to move forward while they were waiting. And I think at the end of the day, they made the right decision. You have vaccinated people, and come July 1, there's going to be further loosening of the restrictions. We've had some new restaurants opening downtown Bay City and over on Midland Street and around the community. So I really think that we're ready here in our community to get back to normal. We're moving forward.
All right, so let's go back to this big elephant in the room, labor. There is an enormous labor shortage, not just in the restaurant industry, everywhere. You look around, I have never seen so many help wanted signs or now hiring signs. You can drive anywhere right now and see dozens of them within a minute. How are we going to solve that?
I think it's just encouraging people to get back to work. I mean, I think the simplest answer is, you have these enhanced unemployment benefits, but I think, there's a combination of things that are going into that. You have people who, when you look at that combined with, some childcare issues and some other things, there's a lot of reasons people are staying home right now. Some are still nervous about COVID. But we've got to get people to wrap their head around the fact that, they're saying if you're vaccinated, you are more likely to be in a car accident than to, be negatively impacted by COVID. So, it is safe to go back to work once you have that vaccination.
And is it your sense that companies in the Bay Area will have people come back to the office, or are we going to find some hybrid versions of stay at home, come to work?
I think each company is going to make its own decision on that. As a Chamber of Commerce, our team is back in the office. We're a face-to-face business, a lot like you. So I think there's going to be some of that hybrid that's available. I think, people are going to start to use that to try and attract that workforce that they're looking for. Whether it's full remote, whether it's hybrid or whatever the case may be. Some are already starting to pay a little bit more. But I think that becomes a piece of it is how much do you actually have to be in office versus being able to do some work from home, have some other flexibility.
Yeah, and there and there is a lot of positive things going on. I think the Loon's back. The Saginaw Spirit have announced their season in October, and the LPGA that you and I are involved in coming back to the Midland Country Club. Lots of good positive things happening. But yet we still have to be diligent. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I mean, we all learn to wash our hands, right?
Yeah.
So, right. So we can continue to do that. Yep. We can, continue to be safe and do those things. But, I think it's exciting to have the golf tournament back, to have, the Loons back, to start doing some of those normal things. We're going to have concerts back in the park in Bay City, with that new shell. So, that's exciting to see.
So, Ryan, in conclusion, what's the health of business in Bay County right now? How would you describe it?
So I think the health of business in Bay County is strong. I think, the biggest challenge we've got right now is the workforce that we've talked about, getting people back to work and having enough employees. We want our restaurants that want to be open all day to be able to be open all day and not, be stuck. Well, do I choose lunch? Do I choose dinner? And especially knowing that, you've got all these festivals and different things coming, you've got the restrictions coming off. We talk a lot about the restaurant industry. I think there's a lot of money to be made in the summer in a place like Bay City. So, if you're out looking, now's the time to go grab onto one of those and take it and run with it.
All right. Well, listen, thanks for spending some time with us this morning, and we will chat with you down the road again.
Sounds good. I didn't know I was going to be on camera. I've got that face for radio.
What do you think I do? You're making me do this. I mean, Good seeing you, Ryan.
You too. Always great, Art. Thank you.
All right. We'll talk to you down the road. Take care.
All right. You too.
Ryan Tarrant, he is the President, Chief Executive Officer of the Bay Area Chamber of Commerce. We thank him for being with us today. Well, I've opened phones for the remainder of the program at Saginaw Bay City 752-6111. Toll free in the state of Michigan is 866-790 WSGW. Outside the state of Michigan, you can call 989-752-6111. More ahead after these notes.
Start your summer off right at United Financial Credit Union. From summer fun to summer savings, United Financial has everything you need to play big and save big all summer long. Looking for a new financial institution? We can help. It's easy to make the switch. Need money for a vacation? We can help. With personal loans as low as 4.99% APR and auto loans as low as 1.99% APR. Let United Financial help needs so you can enjoy your summer. Not a member? Why not? It's never been easier to switch your accounts and become a member at United Financial, where we put you first. Stop in or visit our website for details.
Rate subject to change. APR equals annual percentage rate. Some restrictions apply. See credit union for details. Federally insured by NCUA.
We're where you work, where you live. United Financial Credit Union. Serving the Valley community.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a... Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter to hire. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Before buttons, things were much harder, like starting an outboard motor or even treating sleep apnea. If you've tried CPAP but struggle to get a good night's sleep, relief can be as easy as a button with Inspire.
Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit inspiresleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. Don't look back and wish that you had taken action. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
On air and online from the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW for this Tuesday morning, June 1st. And some of the COVID restrictions are coming off. You'll be able to attend outdoor events like ball games and things of that nature. And they'll have full capacity crowds. July 1st, 1 month from now, almost all the restrictions come off. Restaurants at full capacity, indoor arenas, events like that, full capacity. And life will get back to something resembling what it was pre-pandemic. Let us go to Alvin in Saginaw. Alvin, good morning to you.
Hey, Aaron, how are you doing? This is Alvin.
Yep.
Alvin.
Yeah.
Hey, I was listening. I'm sorry, I got to pull off. 1 second.
That's all right.
I was listening to the guy about how they would use that money that was used. I was just thinking that maybe they could do some creative thinking and maybe look at the budgets that they have already and put the bulk of that into the roads and then use that other money for whatever else they were using in the budget.
I don't think the rules allow them to do it. I think the rules coming out of Washington anticipate how people might try and get around them. And I don't think, because I think they would view that as still using that money for roads because you're simply replacing dollars. I hear you. And I wish they didn't have restrictions on these monies. I wish they'd give them to the communities and let the communities decide what's best for the community. But we're talking about Washington, and they've never been that way.
What's the point, though, of not letting them do it for the roads? I don't understand.
Well, I think part of it is because they anticipated an infrastructure package that will deal just with the roads and bridges and things of that nature. So I think what they were looking at when they passed this American Rescue Plan is all the other things that were not included in the infrastructure. Although it's surprising they'll allow some of this money to be used for broadband, because broadband is going to be part of the infrastructure package, whatever that looks like, whenever they finally get around to passing it. So, I mean, listen, we're talking about government. In my view, they never do anything efficiently. And they always have way too many restrictions and rules, all, quote, in the name of protecting your dollars. I question a lot of what they do and how they do it, but we're stuck with it because they make the rules.
I have talked to, and I've talked to a lot of people who don't see roads, residential roads, as the priority.
Well,
I don't know anyone who doesn't think that's the number one priority.
It should be, because they're the ones in the worst shape right now. You look at the major highway system in the state, the interstates, for the most part, not totally, but for the most part, they're in much better shape than they've ever been. You look at the state roads,
sure.
There's been a lot of money spent on the state roads, and they are improving all the time.
Totally.
But the local communities haven't gotten $1 from the state on any of this stuff lately. And all you have to do is drive around the city and county and township roads. I don't care where, I don't care what county, you're going to find they're not in a great shape.
No, nobody has great roads.
No.
I mean, it's terrible.
Well, there are a few places that pass their own road millages that their citizens felt so inclined that their roads have some money and they are in better shape. But as an overall concept, local roads are not in great shape.
Well, that's all I had. I'm just very frustrated. I cannot believe that the priorities are that mismanaged with the upper government.
I think they're anticipating that they're going to get everything they want out of Congress. And in reality, I mean, as it sits right now, when it comes to budgetary questions, the Biden administration has the upper hand because they can use reconciliation and get what they want without worrying about a filibuster. So if they put out Package A, which is the American Rescue Plan, and they say to themselves, no problem, because we know if we don't get compromised, we're just going to put forth the infrastructure plan the way we want it, then it's going to come down the pike. So I think there's a little bit of that at play when they created some of this.
So it comes back down to politics.
Oh, it all comes to politics, doesn't it? Yeah.
In a major way, though. But I mean, the people, we're supposed to be in control. This is the republic.
He who wins has the power, or she.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
All right, my friend.
All right, that's all I had. Thank you.
Take care, Alvin. Bye-bye now.
Yeah.
Lines open for you here on the Art Lewis Show. And, I think there are good points there from Alvin because, priorities, I would have thought priorities would be a little different. But he's absolutely right. There's a lot of politics at play. And part of those politics is how many votes you can buy with the money you hand out. That's always been the case. And it's no different now. Something else to watch in this coming month. Supreme Court. There are a number of cases before the Supreme Court this month that we are liable to hear decisions. Obamacare. Will it be allowed to stand? And just looking at the history of it, the history of what the court has done and said, the case before the court now stems from the fact that originally, and you'll remember that Justice Roberts was the deciding vote in this, they allowed Obamacare to stand because they declared that it was not a fee, but a tax if you didn't take out the insurance. And based on that, it was allowed to stand. While during the Trump years, that tax was eliminated, was removed, so it's zero. So now attorneys have come forth and said, hey, wait a minute. The tax is no longer valid, therefore the law should be declared unconstitutional. So that will be one of the rulings that will be coming out of the court, Obamacare, is case one. Voting rights, much in the news because of a number of states, including Texas. There is a case right now before the judges that has to do with discarding ballots cast in the wrong precincts and ballot harvesting. And historically, this court, during its Republican majority, has sided with the states and their rights to set voting law. School speech, one of those cases that's going to be looked at, has to do with a 14-year-old in central Pennsylvania. She didn't make the varsity cheerleading team at her public high school. You'll remember this. She posted an angry, vulgar message on Snapchat. The school responded by suspending her from her junior varsity team for a year. The case is known as Mahoney Area School District via B versus BI. And the issue is how much schools can regulate online behavior, particularly when it comes off campus. We'll talk more about that. We got to take a bit of a break after we remind you that Linda Shepherd sponsors our program. Sellers are getting top dollar for their homes with the average 1 day on the market. And Linda Shepherd at Pinnacle Realty sells faster. Buyers are cash or pre-approved. She doesn't waste any time. Easy to work with, no pressure tactics, several years of experience. And Linda's a full-time agent, and her agency, Pinnacle, is not a franchise. The money stays right here in our local economy. Buyers, the interest rates are still low, and Linda watches the market closely so clients get a showing fast and have a fighting chance. And you'll never get more for your house than you will right now. And she'll fight for every offer every time. Call Linda, 989-295-7713, 295-7713. Linda Shepherd at Pinnacle Realty. We'll be back.
Save today on everything for your home with 11% off everything. Right now at Menards. Menards has a great selection of screws and fasteners from top brands like Grip Fast. We carry everything to help you take your projects from start to finish. Save today with 11% off on all Grip Fast screws and fasteners. Good through Saturday, June 5th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Join the mobile and you could save up to 40%. Nationwide 5G is included with every plan, and there are no added taxes or fees, plus no contracts. And for a limited time, get up to $300 off a new Samsung 5G phone with trade-in when you switch to Spectrum Mobile. Visit a Spectrum store near you or go to SpectrumMobile.com today. Savings based on comparison of single-line comparable unlimited plans amongst major national carriers as of 1/27/2021. Data usage limits vary by carrier. Spectrum Internet required. Services not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-990-6271 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. Been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy at 800-990-6271 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-990-6271 and ask about our express shipping option, and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on the little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Again, 800-990-6271 now. That's 800-990-6271.
Detroit Tigers baseball is on 790 News Radio WSGW. Grossman
swinging a high fly ball left field to the fence, looking up, and it's gone, a home run! Robbie Grossman delivers the win!
Tigers baseball brought to you in part by
Ed Raymond and Sons in downtown Chesaning,
DCECU,
Schaefer Beer Line in Frankenmuth.
Your home for the Tigers is WSGW.
right, back with you here on WSGW. One other SCOTUS ruling this month, the Supreme Court of the United States. There is a case coming out of Philadelphia that has to do with religion versus the gay community. This stems from the fact that Philadelphia hires agencies to place foster children in homes and adopted children. One of the agencies that they've contracted is the Catholic Church. Catholic agencies that do it. The Catholic agency, in this case, is a Catholic Social Services Agency, and they have asked Philadelphia that they be granted permission not to place youngsters in same-sex marriage homes. So the case before the Supreme Court is whether or not religion trumps the city's anti-discrimination rules when a religious force such as Catholicism only believes in man and woman as marriage. Even though now there have been some rules or papal pronouncements that seem to point to a bit of a lessening of the restrictions of LGBTQ in the Catholic Church. The court will decide, and those who have been watching the court function say that the justices questioning during their oral arguments seem to favor the Catholic agency. Time will tell if that's true, but it will have other impact. For example, if they rule in favor of the Catholic agency, does that then restrict the impact of the 2015 ruling that had to do with the right of same-sex marriage? And how? Because if they rule in favor of the Catholic agency, that their religious beliefs take precedent, then the court, in a way, is making clear that the LGBTQ Americans could not expect the same protections as other groups. Because even though the city of Philadelphia has anti-discrimination laws, and there are many in the country, the Catholic agency's rights trump the city's anti-discrimination laws, and thus that protection is broken down when it comes to a religious organization dealing with same-sex marriages. Be interesting to watch. There are a number of, this is a very interesting month for the Supreme Court. It's a big month. There are a number of pretty important cases that will have tremendous impact in a number of areas. And when you look at Obamacare, voting rights, this religious question, the school speech issue I brought up, the 14-year-old Brandy Levy, and you'll remember she was a cheerleader and was not allowed to make the varsity cheerleading squad. When I say she failed to make the squad, she posted some angry, vulgar comments on Snapchat outside of the school on her own private Snapchat. And the school punished her for it by taking her off of the junior varsity team for a year. And the question now is how the court will rule. Their questioning seemed to be skeptical of the punishment that was handed down to the young girl. But by the same token, are they ready to issue a sweeping decision on school speech? You may find that they remand it back to the lower courts and that they don't make a decision, that they may express unhappiness with the severity of the punishment, things of that nature, but that they vote to remand it back to a lower court for reconsideration. Wouldn't be surprised. Jim is in Bay City, going to be our last caller. Jim, good morning.
Hey, Art, another great show. A million different topics you talk about. But I wanted to bounce an idea off you.
Okay.
The thing going down at our southern border to me is, some things are difficult. But the idea that we just let those things go like that without doing anything, to me, kind of what would happen if I said, hey, the first person to my house wins $1 million and the stampede killed 100 people.
Yeah.
Wouldn't I be kind of responsible for that?
Yep.
The second thing I wanted to say, though, what if these states along that border open themselves up to taking donations from the rest of the country instead of relying on the federal government to do it?
Because
the states do it.
Yeah, the border is an international border and it's a federal issue. They can't just simply supersede the federal government. Be a nice idea, but they can't do it, unfortunately. And with that, I'm out of time, but I'll tell you what, let's talk about this again. We'll see if we can find some more time tomorrow to talk about it. Appreciate it, Jim. We'll be back after these notes.
Hey, everybody. Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. In fact, over 1 million homeowners took advantage of refinancing or buying a new home with Rocket. Not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase again. And it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. With an official mortgage review from Rocket Mortgage, you'll see just how much money you could save by making a move right now. Don't look back over these next few weeks and wish that you had taken action. You could save hundreds on your mortgage payments or pay off your home loan earlier than planned. You could even take cash out of your home to pay off high interest debt, complete home repairs, or bulk up on an emergency fund. When you want to secure a low rate, Rocket can. Call 833-8-ROCKET or visit
Rocket. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for a grillin' and chillin' package from Fat Matt's Barbecue. This deal gets you a half rack of ribs combo dinner plus 2 of his famous dry rubs and 2 bottles of his homemade barbecue sauce. You can find a list of locations on where Fat Matt's Barbecue will be this summer on his Facebook page. You can also book him for your own private party or event. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
I'm Dr. Andrea Russo, a cardiologist. Waiting to talk to your doctor right now. But if you're having an irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, don't wait. This could be a serious condition like atrial fibrillation, which can make you about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you're having these symptoms, don't wait. Talk to a doctor by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Heads up, America. This is Drew Berquist, former U.S. counterterrorism officer, fighting for your freedoms right here at home, which is why you need to join Mammoth Nation. We are America's conservative discount club. It's created by conservatives for conservatives of all ages. Now you have a safe place to shop that fights against the cancel culture. You get great deals on things like hotels, shopping, wireless, sporting goods, Patriot Gold, and a lot more. We just keep on growing. Cool thing is, proceeds from your membership dues and purchases help to support conservative businesses. Mammoth Nation also supports conservative candidates, military, veterans, law enforcement, and our American way of life. Memberships start at just $19 a year. Go to MammothNation.com, and if you hurry, you'll get a 30% discount on a lifetime membership. It's time we all took a stand. Shop with companies that want to support. That's MammothNation.com. Get on board and become a lifetime member today.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Steve Kafin. No relief from the U.S. Supreme Court for Johnson & Johnson. CBS's Steve Dorsey says the High Court will not take up its appeal of a $2 billion damage verdict.
Justices declined to hear the company's bid to overturn the damages awarded to
ovarian cancer on Johnson & Johnson's baby powder and other talc products they claimed contain asbestos. The company was successful in convincing a Missouri appeals court to lower the damages due to plaintiffs from nearly $5 billion.
President Biden will be in Tulsa to honor the victims of the massacre that decimated a thriving black community 100 years ago. CBS's Omar Villafranca tells us a renewed search for victims is still going on.
The city in 2018 started looking for the mass graves. Today, actually, they are going to start excavating a site where they found what they call anomalies in the ground. They think there may be 12 coffins with remains of people there. Big thing is they're going to slowly excavate them. It's expected to take weeks, but then they have to do DNA testing.
Moderna says it's asking federal regulators for full approval of its COVID vaccine. Pfizer took that step last month. About getting vaccinated, Dr. Ashish, University School of Medicine, tells CBS This Morning,
I remain worried because we have a lot of very, very contagious variants that are spreading across the U.S. And so for people who are unvaccinated, it remains a risky summer. But for the rest of us, it's going to be a really good summer.
In some cases, it was tough for businesses to deal with Memorial Day crowds, staff shortages plaguing restaurants and attractions. New Jersey Business and Industry Association CEO Michelle Sakurka says every effort's being made to add workers.
They're pulling out all the stops. We have sign-up bonuses. We have, free food, free entertainment, a lot of incentive going on.
In Jacksonville, Florida, a 7-year-old boy is being hailed for saving his dad and 4-year-old sister by going to get help when they were swept away by a strong river current. A cop credited with tackling one of the Boston Marathon bombers is retiring. 65-year-old Watertown, Massachusetts police sergeant Jeff Potter turning in his badge is tough.
This is probably the finest profession in the world to have, in my opinion. It's exciting, and you get to help a lot of people.
The movie theater chain AMC is raising more than $230 million in a major stock sale, cashing in on the meme frenzy that sent its stock way high. Right now, on Wall Street, Dow's up 99. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
Social Security. You've spent your entire working life paying into it. So don't you want to get the most out of it, squeezing it for all it's worth? Jason and Carl Kreiderman and the team at Great Lakes Investment Advisors can show you ways to do that with their free Social Security report. It's a great first step to learn how your Social Security benefits can play a role in your income plan, especially because the Social Security Administration isn't able to give advice. Get your free Social Security report from Great Lakes Investment Advisors at greatlakesoffers.com/security. That's greatlakesoffers.com/security. And for more on retirement planning, tune in to Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm offers insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural. Grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. Don't look back and wish that you had taken action. Call 833-8-ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 65 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ian Williams. The new month is bringing a major change in Michigan's
Masks no longer are required outdoors, and capacity limits are extinguished at outdoor sports events and concerts. Restaurants and bars can operate indoors at 50% capacity and can stay open past 11 p.m. There's no limit on the number of people at one table. Full capacity returns on July 1st. Governor Gretchen Whitmer announced the change on May 20th as new coronavirus cases were slowing down and more Michigan residents were getting vaccinated against COVID-19. There were only 445 new cases reported on Saturday. Fresh numbers will be released today. As COVID-19 cases and deaths are dropping across the country, experts are still keeping their eyes on new variants popping up around the globe. While cases are slowing, the origin of the virus is still unknown. Experts say China's cooperation with an investigation into the virus's source is vital to make sure something like this doesn't happen again. The CDC to declining cases as new variants. They say they are currently watching a new variant detected in Vietnam. If you live in the city of Saginaw and are behind on your water bills, you may want to get caught up soon. The city is resuming water shutoffs June 15th. The statewide mandate prohibiting shutoffs due to the coronavirus pandemic expired in March, meaning municipalities are able to resume turning off the utility to delinquent customers. The city of Saginaw is currently $1 million down due to the moratorium. City officials say there are about 750 accounts overdue by 60 days or more, with an average $540 per customer owed. Anyone behind on their water bills can make payment arrangements with the city. Assistance can also be found by calling 211 or the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services for emergency relief. WSGW News Time is 11:07.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, fireplace doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
WSGW is 11:08. Senator Debbie Stabenow will be at Hemlock Semiconductor this afternoon to highlight progress on her Make It in America agenda to advance manufacturing. She'll take a tour of the facility and then speak with local media. Hemlock Semiconductor is a leading provider of hyper-pure polycrystalline silicon and other silicon-based products used in the manufacture of semiconductor devices, solar cells, and modules. Stabenow has authored legislation to address the semiconductor shortage and supply chain issues, help manufacturers transition to a clean energy economy, and incentivize the electrification of the auto industry. It's a story that's made national and international headlines. A pregnant Manistee woman rescued 3 girls who were struggling in Lake Michigan. 5 months pregnant, Alyssa DeWitt sat in her car for 5 minutes before heading to the beach with her 3 little kids last week. She saw 3 girls struggling in the water, so she ran and laid down on the pier, reaching for the girl. 15.
I just started grabbing hands when I could and pulling them up the side of the pier wall, which was very difficult. Waves kept slamming into us, and it would pull them back down. Almost pulled me over a few times.
DeWitt doesn't think it was a coincidence that she was there, that she was meant to be there. A 29-year-old woman has been charged with a drunken driving and child endangerment after crashing a vehicle carrying 6 children into a utility pole in western Michigan. The Ottawa County Sheriff's Office says the crash happened about 9 p.m. Monday in Spring Lake Township, northwest of Grand Rapids. The Sheriff's Office said the Kentwood woman apparently lost control of the vehicle at a curve before crashing. He's a lifesaver, and he's only in the 4th grade, Rob Mason reports.
The youngster from Gaylord Intermediate School is being credited for saving the life of a teacher who was choking on a breakfast bar. walked into his classroom to find his substitute teacher, Patricia Dovalina, purple in the face. Without hesitation, Carter threw his backpack down and began hitting Dovalina's back until the piece of breakfast bar was freed. Carter said it feels really inspiring that he did something like that as just a 10-year-old. And Carter says he knew what to do because his dad has choked in the past. Rob Mason, the Michigan News Network.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom 752-0790. Coming up on 11:11, I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see mostly sunny skies here for your day today with a high into the upper 70s. Winds out of the southwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy sky conditions. We'll see a low near 56. Wednesday, a chance for rain showers here late. Partial sunshine develops, a high around 78. Then by Thursday, cloudy skies and a high around 78. Friday, mostly sunny, high of 85 degrees. And Saturday, plenty of blue skies and sunshine, a high around 88 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 70.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is brought to you by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply, serving you since 1959.
And good morning. Welcome to this Tuesday edition of Focus here on WSGW. I'm Art Lewis. And today we're going to talk about something coming to the Bay Area from the Bay Salvation Army. It is a car cruise called the Kettle Cruise, and we're going to find out about that. First of all, we welcome to the program Major Rick Ray from the Bay Salvation Army. Major, good morning to you.
Good morning to you. Thank you for letting us come on your show.
Oh, absolutely. And also with us is Kelly Brown this morning. Kelly, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
All right, let's talk about this car cruise. First of all, let's tell everybody when it is. We'll start with that basic fact.
The car cruise is a fun event that's happening this coming Saturday, June 5th. It's our first annual Bay County Kettle Cruise, where you can bring your ride, old or new, as long as it's street legal, and have a great time with us.
So, Major, let's talk about the need to have this car cruise, because ostensibly it is a fundraiser. How did you come through the holiday season, and where is the Salvation Army now financially?
Well, I really don't have to say much about the holiday season because COVID made a hot mess of everything last year. We had to reorganize our Christmas efforts. And as everyone knows, the Red Kettle campaign is 90% of our operating budget for the year. So we wanted to look at, in the summer slumps, we have the summer month time where we start having expenses rise, need rise. So we thought of something during the summer, and we thought, well, people like seeing car shows and they like showing off their cars. So we figured, what a way, we'll try it for the first time and see how this goes.
So the car cruise idea, of course, is not a novel one, but it is a popular one. There's no doubt about that. How do cars, Kelly, register for this cruise?
Sign up for it on the Salvation Army Facebook page, or if you're not online, you can give the Salvation Army a call at 989-893-3041 to get additional details, and we'll work out something to get you signed up.
And
we just want everyone to get there and have a good time.
And what's it cost to enter your car?
There is a $10 registration donation per vehicle, and like we said, it goes to a great cause. And then our first 100 participants will receive what we're calling a swag bag with some sponsored goodies and a Kettle Cruise face mask.
And where is the cruise going to be held?
We are going to start the cruise. We're going to assemble at 11:30 on Saturday morning at Smith Park in Essexville. That's on Burn Street. There we're going to have some live streaming covered by WSGW, one of our sponsors. And once we get everyone assembled, we'll be ready to take off on the car cruise at about There, we're also going to have an opportunity for you to vote with your wallet for your favorite vehicle there. The winner is the vehicle that receives the most funds donated. And the prize is a fully stocked wash bucket donated by O'Reilly's on Center Avenue.
Now, where will the cruise end up?
We are going to end our car cruise after snaking through Bay City, Essexville. We're going to end up at the Southwest parking lot at the Bay City Mall. We're thinking the car cruise should take about a half hour for everyone to get there, so we would expect to see cars starting to assemble at the Bay City Mall around 1 o'clock.
And how long will they be there?
We don't have a set end time. We're going to let people finish voting, determine the winner, and just enjoy seeing everyone's ride as long as people want to stay and they're having a good time. That's great.
All right, hang on. We're going to take a break and be back. We're talking to Major Rick Ray from the Bay Area Salvation Army and Kelly Brown, all about the Kettle Cruise, a car cruise to benefit the Salvation Army. More ahead on the Focus program after these notes.
Before buttons, things were much harder, like starting an outboard motor, or even treating sleep apnea. If you've tried CPAP but struggle to get a good night's sleep, relief can be as easy as a button with Inspire.
Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit inspiresleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for a grillin' and chillin' package from Fat Matt's Barbecue. This deal gets you a half rack of ribs combo dinner plus 2 of his famous dry rubs and 2 bottles of his homemade barbecue sauce. You can find a list of locations on where Fat Matt's Barbecue will be this summer on his Facebook for your own private party or event. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger with a quick tip from H2O Wireless on stretching your budget and saving money every month. Start with your recurring monthly bills, and here's the easiest one, your cell phone bill. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile charge premium rates for unlimited data, when in all actuality, you have no need for that much data. H2O Wireless, on the other hand, is on the exact same network as one of those carriers, but charges you half. The average family of 4 is saving over $70 a month without having to sacrifice coverage. And listen to this: unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 per month. Switching is as easy as swapping out your SIM card. You can keep your phone and your phone number. Here's how to get the best deal. This month, dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O. You'll save an additional 50%. Dial pound 250 and say get H2O for this exclusive offer and start saving today.
Heads up, America. This is Drew Berquist, former U.S. counterterrorism officer, fighting for your freedoms right here at home, which is why you need to join Mammoth Nation. We are America's conservative discount club. Mammoth Nation was created by conservatives for conservatives of all ages. Now you have a safe place to shop that fights against the cancel culture. You get great deals on things like hotels, shopping, wireless, sporting goods, Patriot Gold, and a lot more. We just keep on growing. Cool thing is, proceeds from your membership dues and purchases help to support conservative businesses. Mammoth Nation also supports conservative candidates, military, veterans, law enforcement, and our American way of life. Memberships start at just $19 a year. Go to MammothNation.com, and if you hurry, you'll get a 30% discount on a lifetime membership. It's time we all took a stand. Shop for America, not destroy it. That's MammothNation.com. Get on board and become a lifetime member today.
You're in the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
Back with you on Focus. We're talking to Major Rick Ray of the Bay Salvation Army and Kelly Brown. A big kettle cruise coming up this Saturday, beginning at 11:30 at Smith Park in Essexville. $10 to enter your car, and you will then go on a car cruise, which ends up at the Bay City Mall around 1 o'clock, and then throughout the afternoon. Public is welcome to come look at the cars and vote with their wallet for their favorite car. Major Ray, let's talk for a minute about the Salvation Army at this time of year going into the summer. Services, I mean, Salvation Army demand for services is all year, isn't it?
Well, 364 days a year. We take Christmas Day off when it's not on a Monday.
Yeah, you take it off, but not until you've done everything to help the people that need it for Christmas. So you really don't take it off.
Yeah, that's true.
What's the biggest demand in the summertime?
The summertime is we have our lunch program that goes 6 days a week, and sometimes the people, they think the summer's down and things are slowing down a bit, but we still are providing utility assistance, rent assistance. This month alone, in May, we serviced 75 households with the needed expense assistance. Our lunch program for May, we just finished up 4,529 meals just in May.
Wow.
And then to put it in perspective, for the entire year, since March 18th of last year, we have served 91,090 meals in our cafe. So the need is great out there. We also get support from other churches because they've helped us by baking stuff for us to help cut those expenses too. Summer camps are starting up in about 2 weeks. So we are still paying to send those kids to camp. And normally it's about $300 a week for a kid to go to camp. And we are only charging them $10 a child.
Wow.
Because we know they have multiple kids and they couldn't afford sending 6 kids to camp at $300 a piece.
All right, let's get real about money for a minute here, because the kettle drives are way off this year, and that's a big hunk of your budget, most of your budget. How do you make up the difference? I mean, the car cruise is nice, but how are you making up that significant difference?
It's just people. The community really has stepped up, and we get every now and with out of my 17 kettle sites I had, I was only able to cover 8 of them. And people knew that. So at the beginning of the year, we see people in our mailing contributions and sending them to us. I have put extra letters out in the mail, just letting people know where our need is. And then just reminders of that need has no season, and we are still here serving the community 364 days a year.
Well, obviously, if you're able to provide those services, the community has responded and needs to continue to respond, I would guess.
Yeah, we're allocated so much. We in the budget set up for a month, and people start coming in because they forget they have a past due bill, or they get cut off. And is struggling we steal from Peter to pay Paul and make it work, try to take care of these families or send them to other places and network with other agencies as well. If we don't have the resource, we try to help them find that place of best.
If someone wants to donate to the Salvation Army, how do they go about doing that?
Well, they can personally, if they want to save postage, whatever the contribution is, if they want it designated to a certain program, they can make it to that program, or if it's just a operating service donation, they can leave it for the general services. That would cover all those programs. People like taking on a project. If they want it to go to some certain program, they can.
Kelly, let's talk a little more about the Kettle Cruise. I want to remind car owners how they can go about registering. Let me ask you this too. Can they register on site the morning of the Kettle Cruise this Saturday?
Yes, on-site registration will be available. However, if people can register in advance, it makes the day a little bit more streamlined and easy if they do the Facebook registration on the Salvation Army Facebook page. But yes, we'll take registration.
Having been involved in a couple of car cruises over the years, it's always taken a lot of volunteers. Do you need them, or do you have them?
We have some volunteers, but we can always use more people. It was pretty easy to get people to volunteer to ring the bells because the weather is going Saturday, and you're not going to need to wear gloves to ring the bells with the kettles. So it's kind of easier recruiting this time
You
of
got
year
that
than
right.
it is
Yeah.
in December.
I've done it
But
the other way.
If someone is willing to help, that would be great.
Well, I've rung the bell several times, and somehow I have the unfortunate luck of always picking the worst weather days to do it. So the only time I didn't was
you sign up, Art. No one wants to sign up on your same day, right?
yeah, you got that right. The only time that hasn't worked out is when I've done it in July when they had the ringing in July. I survived some pretty good weather for that. Well, again, the kettle cruise, the car cruise is this Saturday, beginning at 11 o'clock at Smith Park. Major, we wish you well with it. We hope it does very, very well.
Would we be able to thank our sponsors?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Kelly?
Yes, I'd like to thank our event sponsors if possible.
Sure.
We have our advertising sponsor, WSGW, sign sponsor, Amber, bag and bucket sponsor, O'Reilly's Auto Parts on Center, Bay County Commissioner Vaughn Bigick, Capoco Credit Union, Dream Center, Financial Edge Credit Union, Growers, State Farm Agent Jeff Hunt, Independent Bank, Jolt Credit Union, and Yo and Yo CPAs and Business Consultants.
That's a big list.
Thank you all.
That's good. All right, Major Kelly, thanks for being with us today, and good luck with the car cruise. We'll see you. Take care.
Well, thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Bye-bye now. And we'll be back to close out after these notes.
Imagine a place so inviting that it becomes your home. The Wellspring Senior Living Campus in Saginaw is designed for you to live life to the fullest. Our tailored approach to independent and assisted living fits your lifestyle and preferences. If you'd like the Wellspring family by your side, encouraging you and your loved one, schedule a tour at Wellspring Senior Living Campus today at SaginawSeniorLiving.com.
According to the National Institutes of Health, 30% older adults are drug-related, like taking meds at the wrong time. Hero Health simplifies medication management. The smart device stores up to 90 days worth of up to 10 different pills. Button. Try Hero risk-free for 30 days and get free contactless delivery. Just call 800-420-7550. That's 800-420-7550. 800-420-7550. Hero. Medication managed.
RocketGrabPlus.com. The days of paying full price are over. And at RocketGrabPlus.com, we are always here to give you the killer deals you need. You can get tons of half-off deals going on right now. JB's Market, Woody's Hot Dogs, King's Fish and More, Beer Garden, and High Country Jumpers. Half off? You bet. It's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. I'm Dr. Baker, an ER physician. If you're having leg pain, swelling, or redness, but haven't talked to your doctor yet, don't wait. This could be deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to your lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause chest pain or discomfort or difficulty breathing and be deadly. Your symptoms can mean something serious, so don't wait. Talk by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The Focus Show on WSGW. Brought to you by Northeastern Paint Supply in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply. Serving you since 1959.
And let me take a moment to talk to you about your sleep. I hope you slept well last night because you spend a third of your life there in bed, you know, and you need quality sleep, and you can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home. If you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom, serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call 753-1757. That'll do it for Focus. We'll be back tomorrow with more. Stick around for Terry Henny's Farm Show. It'll be next.
Start your summer off right at United Financial Credit Union. From summer fun to summer savings, United Financial has everything you need to play big and save big all summer long. Looking for a new financial institution?
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day's going well for you, wherever you might be. Mostly sunny skies, 67 degrees at the airport, 71 here at Radio Center. Downtown Midland is at 69. Downtown Bay City is registering 70 degrees. We do have a south wind under 5 miles per hour. Very pleasant day today. Barometric pressure is falling off just a little bit, 30.23. And as we go through the remainder of the day, we're going to see that barometer ever so slowly slide just a little bit. There is going to be eventually a low pressure system approaching us from the southwest. And that low is more than likely going to give us not only an increase in the clouds, not so much as we go through the nighttime hours tonight, but during the day tomorrow, we're going to have kind of a hazy sun tomorrow, and then the clouds will be moving in, thickening And then that low pressure system located over eastern portions of Texas is going to work its way up through Missouri, in through southernmost sections of Indiana, cross through the Toledo, Ohio area by late Tuesday or late tomorrow night into the day on Thursday. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of shower out of that low pressure system. Right now, the chances aren't too good, and the amounts of precipitation aren't really much, but hey, we'll take whatever we can get. Unusually dry conditions continued all the way through the month of May, and here we are starting off June the 1st. Meteorological summer is officially today. And what are we looking at? We're looking at increasing temperatures as we go through the next several days, and very little chances of precipitation, not only here in Michigan, but over much of the country. As a result, when we switch over to Rick Hollister in just a couple of minutes, you're going to hear some pretty interesting grain prices. And it looks as though those grain prices are going to continue to be very interesting and more than likely heading in an upward direction for the next several days. But as I said, we'll get to Rick in just a moment. Kind of a chilly start to the morning on Saturday morning and Sunday morning. Some folks believe they did get a little bit of frost, and especially some of the plants that were very cold weather sensitive, they did get a little bit of damage over the weekend. But as we've rolled through the last couple of days, things have begun to moderate just a little bit. And as we mentioned before, by the end of the work week this week, we're not only going to not see any close to freezing temperatures, but it's going to be just the opposite. We're going to get some very, very, very warm temperature. So what are we looking at? 78 degrees for a high today. Sunshine, warmer than what it has been. Low tonight of right around, I want to say 56. Sun will set this evening at 9:11. Rise tomorrow morning at 5:58. Quiet night. There will be some haze, some light clouds move in late tonight. So during the day tomorrow, especially in the morning hours, with a high once again of right around 78, we'll have hazy sunshine, but then the clouds will be moving in. And southeast Michigan, real late tomorrow. I think tomorrow night is going to see some precipitation from that low pressure system. Now, is it going to work its way up into the Great Lakes Bay region? I think so. But again, the amounts of precipitation aren't really going to be that much. Michigan's thumb, and in particular, the southeastern corner, the southeastern 25% of the lower peninsula, is, it appears to be the bullseye as far as any moisture in the state of Michigan. Much of the state is not going to see anything at all out of this system. During the day on Thursday, whatever showers there will be tapering off very rapidly in the morning hours, especially in southeast Michigan, and will become sunny. Thursday's high, once again, will be in the upper 70s, right around 80 degrees. Our low on Thursday night, about 61. And then, as we go into the day on Friday, sunny skies. Here we go. 90 degrees. Clear skies Friday night, 63. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, 90 degrees at least each day, with low temperatures 65, 66, 67 degrees. What's average? We should be at 74 in the afternoon and 54 at night. As I said, we're going to be running well above that. Record high in this state, 104. That was set back in 1934. The record low, 37, set in 2003. Again, sunsets 9:11, sunrise tomorrow morning at 5:58. Long range outlook to take us through the 14th of the month is for much above average temperatures, below average on the moisture. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. And yeah, the weather is going to be tied to a lot of things during our farm program today. Rick Hollister comes up in a moment, but before we get to him, we want to remind you the weather forecast has been brought to you by the folks at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field.
Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the Wiki Crop Insurance folks. You know, the headlines in agriculture are always about the markets and the weather, so don't let Mother Nature give you sleepless nights and ruin your life. Wiki Crop Insurance of Chesaning is ready to secure your future and let you sleep well tonight. Rest easy, knowing that Kyle Byron at Wiki Crop Insurance has you covered. Go online for more information at wikicrop.com. Fast, reliable, and thorough Wiki Crop Insurance. You can depend on them. Well, Rick Hollister, just as soon as we thought we were going to get a little bit of a break, whoa, here we go. I mean, other than gas prices, and the gas prices aren't jumping as high as what these markets are right now. This is something else.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of commodities higher today. It's a new month, new enthusiasm for commodities in general. Terry, crude oil is higher, sharply higher today, approaching levels that we haven't seen since before the pandemic started more than a year ago. So, you know, that's bringing soybean oil higher. That's got soybeans higher. And, you know, we look at the weather here over the last couple of weeks, and our northwest part of our belt has been so cold and dry that people are really concerned about our spring wheat production this year here in the U.S. And then looking forward, we've got these 90-degree temperatures. We know last year that's what shaved our corn yields a little bit. Whereas many 90-degree days as we've had is kind of tough on corn yields. So we need to really watch our crop conditions report. Tonight will be our first corn and soybean crop conditions for the year, and then we'll go week to week for the rest of the summer. And it just feels like the traders and speculators are willing to put a little risk premium back into it here with the forecast looking forward. And getting a nice technical recovery off from last week's lows now. Market seems to be in pretty good shape here, but we know this volatility isn't all up, and last week, the week before, shows us that we can see some pretty poor down days if the forecast changes, if we get that rain through in bigger fashion than what's in the forecast. So need to be careful here, but getting a nice upswing to start the month of June. And we'll see how this crop continues to develop.
I've noticed that even over on the Mercantile Exchange, the beef complex, not limit, but real close to limit down right now, not only in the feeders, but the live cattle. I got a funny feeling there's been some liquidation going on, and boy, with possibly not a real good corn crop, there might be some liquidation of the herd even more.
Yeah, and hogs haven't caught that downward fever yet, but yeah, the cattle and the feeder cattle are both sharply lower today. But they're about the only commodities that are lower, with the U.S. dollar down today. Even the Canadian dollar compared to the U.S. Terry is really helping our export opportunity. We know Michigan exports so much product over to our friends to the east here up in Canada. So that's even helping our prospects more as U.S. dollar weakness against many other currencies around the world really is helping our prospects to export even more.
Yeah. So what are we looking at on the board at Hemlock?
Yeah, at Hemlock right now, old crop corn is at $6.79. New crop for fall delivery at $5.28. Old crop soybeans are $15.58, and the new crop beans at $13.47. Wheat, old or new, $6.47, and that's the red wheat, $6.47. White wheat, old or new crop for the summer delivery at $6.57.
All right. You take care. Have a great day.
Yep, you too. Thanks, Terry.
You betcha. Rick Hollister over at the Andersons. A little bit more now. To Oppenheimer we go. Doug Klein joining me. The Market Report brought to you by the folks at Hudson Incorporated. Bader & Sons is now a part of Hudson Incorporated, serving mid-Michigan with 18 locations. They carry a full lineup of John Deere equipment and provide parts, service, and support. Find out more by going to www.Hudson, that's HUTSONINC, HudsonInc.com. And by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, purchasing local soybeans, processing local beans, and marketing local Exceller meal, which is a high bypass soybean meal for your dairy herd. They've been doing it since 1991. Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. So call them for a quote today. Well, Doug Klein, here we go. Start off a new month and bang, away we go.
Got a new high on crude oil. There you go. 6-year high on the Canadian dollar. So they're feeling the pain. I got some advice for them. Print more money, like we do.
Yeah.
Unlimited. They got enough trees up there. Just convert them into money.
Yeah, but their dollars are a lot fancier than ours, so it takes a little bit more effort.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, jeez. Anyway, that's one of the drivers behind it, but who knows? Here's your numbers. The July corn is 6.82 3/4, up 26 cents. December corn 5.72 1/2, up 27. July soybeans 15.44 1/4, up 13 3/4. November soybeans 13.94, up 21 1/4. July wheat is 6.91, up 27 1/2, and December wheat 7.01 1/4, up 26 1/2. Crude oil sitting at 67.76. That's up $1.44, and it was up about another $1. So they've shaved a little bit off that. I guess just because they're nice. Yeah, right. The heating oil is 207.47. That's up 3.5 cents. Gasoline 216.51, up 2.8 cents. Natural gas 309 1/4. That's up 10.5 cents. Canadian dollar. U.S. dollar only gets you $1.20 at the border. That's down 42 ticks. The yen is at 109.41, down 13 ticks. The euro at 122.43 is up 18 ticks. The dollar is at 89.71. That's down 32 ticks. Gold is at $18.98, down $4.50. Silver's at $28.14, up 13 cents. Platinum's at $12.0250, up $20.
All right. Take her easy, Doug. Talk to you again soon. Okay. All right. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Let Foster Blue Water Oil take your diesel to another level. Some of you really do need to get a little bit more economical, especially with your diesel. Well, Foster Blue Water Oil can take care of that with Diesel Guard Supreme Plus from Valve Tech Petroleum, because not only does your diesel engine run cleaner, you don't have all the maintenance that you normally would do. You have cleaner injectors, maximum lubricity, and up to 8% improved fuel economy with Diesel Guard Supreme Plus from Valve Tech Petroleum, available at Foster Blue Water Oil. For more information, just get a hold of them. Or you can go online, fosterbluewateroil.com. This reminder, Michigan Wheat Program is having a virtual field day. That's going to be a week from tomorrow, June the 9th. It'll be from 8 until 10 in the morning. Lots of activity going on. If you want more information on it, it's a 2-hour virtual presentation this year. You can go to miwheat.org and check it out. We'll have a lot more information for you on Monday. We're going to be talking to Jody Pollock-Newsome and Dennis Pennington and maybe a few other people on a Social Stream Live broadcast. That'll be Monday morning at 9. But again, the event is Wednesday, June the 9th from 8 until 10. So mark that down. Foster Blue Water Oil has some new parts for old tractors, real easy to find too. All you got to do is just go to steinertractor.com or order that new part, 800-234-3280. 80. Jerry Samolsky joining me right after this.
When it comes to baling, the denser, the better. Ellen's Equipment in McBain, Ithaca, and Beale City can show you how roll belt round balers produce denser and higher quality round bales that drive down your production costs while driving up the nutrition of your bales. A competitive comparison showed New Holland roll belt round balers provide savings in net wrap, transportation, and lower storage losses. It's like being able to afford a new baler every other year. Stop by Ellen's Equipment in McBain, Ithaca, or Beale City soon to learn firsthand about the benefits of roll belt round balers.
Well, Jerry Samolsky, I think you've probably seen the weather forecast just like I have. We got some hot weather coming, Jerry.
We do, Terry, and along with that, no moisture. So on the turf side, let's mow as high as we can. Those soil temps are going to go up, which no matter what you do, when soil temps get high, all the turf grass that we grow in our area, the grass roots recede. They don't go deep. Doesn't matter if you water once a week, a lot, or every day. The grass roots get shorter with hot soil temps. So the only way you can keep it cool is to shade it with itself and by mowing it high. And with this lack of moisture, lawns are going to go into dormancy. And Terry, are you seeing much of any moisture coming up in the next 10 days?
Very little.
Yeah. So I'm almost positive we're going to start seeing grasses turn brown and get straw-like. So the one good thing is a lot of the funguses and mosquitoes have not been bad this year, if you've noticed, because we don't have a lot of that standing water for them to lay eggs in and go. So at least, we got to take some good with the bad, right?
Yeah, it's the glass is half full there, I'll tell you. More on all of this tomorrow, Jerry. Take care.
Yes, sir. Yep.
All righty. Craig Voorhees with a Rummel Agency in a moment.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quoizel and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, fireplace doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Well, today is June the 1st, and over at the Rummel Agency, Craig Voorhees, this is a pretty special day, isn't it?
Yes, Terry, it certainly is. It was June 1st, 1950, when Emil Rummel opened the doors officially to the agency. So we turned 71 years old today, and we're looking forward to the next 70.
And there's all sorts of things to talk about in those 70 years, but again, the new year is here and you're moving forward. You got plenty of offices now to take care of folks and a lot of really good programs and good people to work too, don't you?
We do, Terry, that's for sure. We went from one humble office. We now have 5. We're over 60 employees. And, we wanted to have a big party last year to celebrate our 70th, which, of course, we did not have the party. So we're hoping to do one later this year, and as soon as I get those details, I'll be happy to pass those along.
Well, good, because I know it'll include food, so I want to be there.
It will. It'll include food and, I'm sure, drinks. So we know how to do a little bit of both.
All right, 1950, huh?
Yep, that's when Emil officially opened, and, we've had 3 generations of Rummel at the helm. And maybe someday in the near future, we'll have a 4th one. So we're going strong and going forward, just like you said.
All righty. Craig Voorhees, have a great day and happy anniversary. All righty.
Thanks, Terry. Oh, and I forgot to mention, in case anybody was wondering, our doors are open again to the public. So,
that's good news.
Yep, feel free to stop in.
All righty. Craig Voorhees, thanks a lot.
First, we had a toilet paper shortage. Then it was a sanitizer shortage. And now a chip shortage. Don't worry, not potato chips. We're talking computer chips. I'm Steve Cook from Cook Chevrolet Buick and Vassar. Thanks to this latest shortage, new car and truck inventories are absolutely depleted for every car company across the entire country. So at the Cook GM Superstore in Vassar, at any point in time, we have a few Silverado pickups, Blazers, Equinoxes, and Traverses in stock. And in the event we don't have exactly what you need, we can tell you details about every Chevy or Buick that will be arriving in the next several weeks. And most importantly, we'll let you reserve the vehicle of your choice. Do you have a lease coming due in the next several months? What are you going to do? Why not contact a Cook staff member and lock in a vehicle? Here are this month's great zero-down offers. Equinoxes from $208, Blazers $249, and Silverados from $274. That's the Cook GM Superstore, M15 top of the hill in Vassar.
Payments based on 36-month GM employee and family lease, 10,000 miles per year, and includes all rebates. Chevy, find new roads.
Let's find out what's going on in New York right now. Steve Anderson from Baird & Company. What are we looking at?
Well, we're actually looking at some pretty good numbers today. Apparently, we think the economy is going to continue to improve. So we have the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up. Sorry about that.
So it's up.
It's up. Yes, it is. All of the markets are up today.
All right.
As well, as I have green on most of our local stocks.
Who do we have there?
I have green and a spinning arrow here going.
So everybody is just beside themselves. They're so happy today, right?
They pretty much are. It should be a happy day, though.
So if we do want a little bit of information and we want to get firsthand knowledge, how do we do that, Steve?
Well, you can give us a call right here at Baird & Company, where the number is 790-5724. Or you can find us on the web at rwbaird, that's BAIRD.com, and look for the Saginaw branch, and we'll be able to help you figure out what to do while everything's within about 0.5% of all-time highs here.
Wow. All righty. Steve, you take care. Have a good day. All righty.
I will. You do the same.
You betcha. Steve Anderson over at Baird & Company. Farm Service has been brought to you today by the folks at Kryzak's House Family Restaurant. If you need to supply the food for an event coming up, 989-894-5531 is the number. Kryzak's House, corner of Cass and Michigan on Bay City's south side. Speaking of that, we did receive notice last week that the St. Sands Summer Festival is going to be held this year. So we're going to have a lot more information on that as we approach festival time. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we join radio stations all across the country by playing our national anthem.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Steve Kathan. President Biden visits Tulsa today, 100 years after the